Okay, moved inside. Noise was getting crazy outside. Birds, lawnmowers, cicadas. Thought you'd appreciate a lack of background noise. Here's my office. Lightsabers there. Prince videos there. VHS tapes from the 90s. Some toy boxes there, in case you were wondering. UI. This is going to be fun. So I've written a PRD for this. I'm going to walk you through that, and then we will get it building. In fact, what I'm going to do is get it building and then walk you through the PRD while it's building, because it's going to take some time. Now, put it in plan mode. I'm going to go front end design. I've never done this. Analyze this requirement. See, I've noticed a few videos where I've done the read through and then I pick things up and I go, oh, I should change that. Yeah, let's do that. I won't start this first. I'm going to do a quick read through. So we're going to get a UI. User experience. This is how I like to do PRDs where I'm doing UI. So first I want to describe what the user's experience is going to be and what capabilities they are going to have when they're looking on screen. So I don't want to write anything technical. I want to write, hey, on first load, I should be able to do this. This one isn't particularly detailed. And it's not got a lot of bells and whistles that I do on something more polished, because it's only going to be me using it. So I don't need this to be, mega professional UI. But I'm giving it enough of an idea of this is the user experience I want when I'm using this UI app. So we'll run through that, and then I tag on a bit of technical. So list of all a list of all video jobs, effectively the folders under workspace. So I'm kind of doing a user experience description, but I pepper in a little bit of technical just to guide it. Each video job shows a badge with its status ordered by, let's say, creation date. Job view. If a user clicks on a job, each stage of the job, so the pipeline, I'll say pipeline in brackets, again, it's just nudging it, will be shown along with a media preview. And I'm going to explain what that is further down, so it should get that. Clicking on each stage will show more detail about the step and any asset failures produced in that step. Clicking on the will show more detail about the step in a expand collapse component, bit of technical, and any assets failures produced in that pipeline step. So I'm just tightening this up. This isn't the best written, but it'll be fine. Each stage should have a rerun button that would trigger the pipeline script for that stage in isolation, failing if required preceding steps are not run. So all this time you've seen me go, yeah, just run this stage, without too much consideration for, had I run step 2 before I've run step 3? I don't want to allow that in the UI. So if I'm running step 4 and I haven't run step 3, this should just fail, as in it should force me to run the pipeline. Bear in mind, most of the time, I'm going to be using this to kick off failed jobs. If the job has completed, the top of the screen should show the content assets, video, shorts, and images produced for review. This would be equivalent to the 12 review stage.py and allow approve reject of the shorts. Now, I haven't even run that review stage script yet. So, oh, go away, Whisper. Not sure what's going to happen here. We'll see. And I'm actually talking about approve or reject, which would happen earlier. So this is going to be a little bit confusing. We'll let Claude figure it out. Top level buttons, delete. Delete the entire, workspace job directory. The the entire workspace directory for the specific job from disk. I'm going to check that code. Archive. Delete the intermediate footage audio files, then move the specific workspace directory to a workspace archive directory. I'm going to create that now because it'll pick up on that. So where I've got workspace, I'll add. Another thing I want to do is make these configurable because it's going to run in OneDrive. Resume. Continue workflow from failed step. Rerun/run. Run the whole workflow from the beginning. Clear the working directory for the job first. I should probably fix the make the job ID the name of the file, but I'm not too worried about that. That should be an easy change later. To do overrides for config YAML, especially split screen mode. So what I'm thinking here is there's stuff in here that I might want to tweak per video. And the main thing's really this, processing mode, right? Because I've still got, if we look at all the videos of this series, the first few videos, 1 through 8, were before I did the split screen change. So I'm going to need videos 1 through 8 processed in the default mode and then only use the split screen mode from 13 onwards. Not too worried about it at the moment. And then what I was thinking is it will be good to maybe have a file that I could add with the video file with some settings. So I go, just hey, process this video with these settings, and then this thing would pick that up and go, oh, he wants this one in split screen. I'm not going to bother with this for now. What I'm going to do to process these videos is they've gone. I'll manually make the config the default for the first 8, and then I'll switch it to split screen for the remainder. Technical. React 19, Vite, TypeScript. So that's saying build the front end with React 19, Vite as the builder, use TypeScript, not JavaScript. I don't know why vibe coders are saying don't bother with TypeScript. You're just creating yourself pain if you don't use TypeScript. AI does way better with TypeScript code bases than it does with JavaScript. Use TypeScript. UX entirely built with ShadCN Tailwind. Tailwind's a kind of CSS class wrapper for the styles. ShadCN is a component library that builds on top of Tailwind and just gives a whole bunch of really nice UI components. So a lot of UI I'm building, I do ShadCN, and AI understands it well. They've got an MCP server, stuff like that. You don't need it, it'll figure it out. Create the UI under video editing agent /UI. Again, I've created a folder for this. Run it under a Python web server, e.g. Flask, or better recommendation. Also your better recommendation. It will be hosted locally only, no cloud deployment considerations necessary. So I don't want this running off going, oh, I'm going to build you CloudFormation or crazy stuff to host it. No, just give me terminal I can run to start this web server. That's it. Create appropriate APIs to facilitate pipeline and automation from the UI. So at the moment, pipeline, we're running this on the terminal. So some of these commands I'm asking for, like rerun and that's going to need an API in the web server to go, oh, I need to run this script in pipeline. So this could well do a bit of refactoring on pipeline. See how it goes. This is not hard stuff. Claude will eat this alive. The UI is not particularly complex. I've given it most of the context to guide how I want this built. I'm not really missing anything. Most of this will run just reading the directory. So most of this should just be going, hey, create an API that lists the directories. Those would be what I see on screen. It will read the status file for each, showing its status and the steps. And then when I click into that job view, that will load that again. Actually, something I've realized is missing is the status files don't collect the output from each script. So that's something that will need to be extended. Take that out. Technology choices. And then a pipeline extension. Where's it gone? Again, good job I did a read through before I threw this prompt at AI. Will need extending to capture the raw terminal output for each script and persist into what's it called, status.json. I think it'll understand what I mean. So let's see how this goes. I haven't done this before. Like, it feels a bit weird to be triggering the front end design skill, because this is more a kind of, hey, I need an architect really, but yeah, let's see what happens. Go. Again, said this before, whatever the open document you've got in VS Code adds it to context immediately. Hence, I can just go analyze this requirement, tag the front end skill there, and off it goes. What I'm not seeing is it invoking that front end design skill yet. Oh no, it's read the task list. Why is it reading the task list? Let's see what happens. I'm in a experimental mood. So it's gone on how to read the task list. It's probably nothing to worry about, but the task list is nothing to do with this requirement. This again is another reason. Like, this doesn't happen under GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot tends not to wander off track. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This could be a disaster, or it could all work out great. Another thing I should talk about with like AI going off the rails is anti-gravity. So I've tried anti-gravity. I haven't done a lot with it. So my opinion, I don't think is worth much, but it's so aggressive. Like, I'm used to the kind of Copilot Claude experience. So Copilot, I think, is very good. Claude is a little bit, does its own thing, but it's fine. But it also does very good stuff. But anti-gravity is just, I'm not going to ask you about much at all. I'm just going to do my own thing, and I'm going to build stuff. So it's very much a kind of vibe code, lovable, bolt kind of IDE that is just going to spit you out stuff, and it may not be what you asked for. Now, I'm sure, I know there's ways of setting it up, because when you onboard, it goes, oh, kind of what kind of agentic experience do you want? Do you want I do everything, or do you want to like approve everything? And I think I went with like a neutral kind of, keep me informed. But I still found it very, very aggressive in terms of it doing stuff and making changes. And the problem with that is, unless you really are after something quick, you've then just got to unwind it all, which is a pain in the arse. I would say I have about a 95% success rate with coding changes from AI being what I wanted, not including bug fixes. So if something doesn't work, that's fine. Like, you got to work through bugs. But in terms of it building what I want, like, I rarely have a problem with, generating code that I'm like, okay, no, this is just completely wrong. FastAPI, Flask, this is the Python libraries for the web server it's seeing is in there. So it's going to create a plan and go, oh, I need to install this. So yeah, I mean, I'm always conscious I'm missing something. I'm conscious there are some of you out there who are operating faster, better, stronger with agentic setups that are doing more and more quickly. it's a weird thing. Like I'm questioning myself every day, going, could I be going faster than I currently am? Have I optimized the setup? I've got a friend who I'd love to get on the channel, who's a bit more ahead than me in terms of technology he's trying out, different ways he's using things to control context with Claude and other bits. So I'll see if I can persuade him to come on the channel for a chat. But yeah, this is part of the fun. I suppose the other thing is, like, I'm happy with the results I'm getting. It's really only about someone coming in and going, hey, Chris, let me show you how you could go 10 times faster. That's I think that's going to be the case for all of us now, because you're now going to get this huge gap between how productive people are. You're going to have people who are not interested in AI. You're going to have people who are semi-interested and realized, oh, whoa, hang on, these things that used to take me ages, I can now get off quickly. And then you're into this echelon of people going 10 to 100 times faster. And then it's exponential, because it's like small tweaks with AI can make the difference between your output being 10x or 100x. And of course, you want the 100x output to be the same quality as the 10x output. So you're going to see this huge spread now in productivity of individuals and companies. And, that's starting to happen already. So it's interesting times. It's interesting times. So this is still ticking along. Rather than rabbit on too much, I'll pause and we'll come back when this is finished. Okay, it's completed planning. I've just had a read through tech stack. Going to do the API for the back end. Pipeline extension, log capture, cool. Status JSON will then capture those logs. Back end, fine. API endpoints, real-time server-side event approach. So it's saying it's going to spin up something that spits out events as the pipelines run. I don't need it to do this. Front end, state management, React query for all server state, use pipeline stream. Don't need to do this. Shad UI, implementation sequence. Okay. So accept this plan. No, keep planning. This doesn't need server-side events, real-time streaming. The front end is fine to just load the current state of the workspace on page load. That's it. So I don't want to over-engineer this. This is just a utility that shows current state. Like, it's going to be looked at after jobs run, not during. Like, I know this works from the pipeline. So where this will get to is, what I will probably add to this is, hey, ping me on Discord when it's done. And then I can go, okay, cool. And then, give me a link to this thing. I can go, that short is crap. That one's good. Off you go. I don't want to see this, progress meter and stuff through the UI. I don't need that. If there's a bug, I'll be back in code and trying to fix that. If I was trying to make a commercial product SaaS application, which I'm not going to do with this, yeah, maybe I'd want all that. But no need to overbake it. So, okay, simplified, update the plan, remove that. Let's just check what it's done. Back end, pipeline control, cool. Front end, state management, data fetching, single load or mount, no polling, cool. Mutations to invalidate React queries. So this is going to do GraphQL. I would have just done REST. Pretty simple, but fine. Implementation sequence. This is the order it's going to do things. Yeah, go. So again, I'll pause the video. There's no need to sit through watching this. I'm not going to really look at anything, try and run anything until the end. So given where we are, I might end this one out, and then we'll do a kind of a part 2 on the UI once it's finished, because I suspect this is going to take 10-20 minutes to bake. And then we can start looking at this UI and see what it looks like and fix any bugs and make any tweaks. So we'll call this for this video. Next one, we'll do a part 2, see what it's been.